We are live, and I haven't checked the frame, but as the frame master, I'm pretty sure it's going to be delectable.
Delectable, huh?
I'm sure that's a word. I can see a little bit of your Chinese box there.
It is a word. My Chinese box.
Yeah, there's a bunch of Chinese boxes that I propped the phone on top of. What do you think? It looks pretty good. I like it.
I don't know. We're a little ski-wifted to the right.
Oh, okay. I'll do that. But you also should adjust the lighting, because remember last time it kept doing the whole wah, wah. See what's happening right now?
Yeah, I honestly
So this is
gonna be tough.
Now this is part of Arty Time, guys. If you want to do something in life, sometimes you just gotta jump right into it. You can't be half-assing, you know?
Wait, says the people who go live without fixing the lights first. Yeah.
We are live again.
Still half-assing.
The point being is that sometimes you
just can't go full ass. Half-assed is better than no ass.
when you try and get something perfect, I find you never get it done. You're
you're always gonna
So what if I got that perfect tripod?
I think it's gonna wash out and behind us again.
Oh yeah? Okay, well this is another test.
Let me see.
Okay, he's gonna go back and do it. Now listen, what I wanted to talk about on this episode is I did another podcast this week. Adam, I'm sorry. Cheated on you. Went to Mark's house and we did a podcast and it's fully rigged up.
Is that better or worse or what?
It's weird because it's not on us at all. It's on the... Oh, look at this. Now I have a spotlight.
Here we go. I don't know. We'll see how this goes.
Okay, so I did another podcast in a fully set up.
I think that was the problem. The one behind us.
Mark's setup is crazy. He's got 3 DSLRs pointing at you with a switcher and a man on the switcher changing the angle live.
Yeah, his setup's definitely
totally different than ours.
Way better than ours.
But does he have 25 episodes?
I don't know. Does he?
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't checked into it.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't mark them by episode number.
See, I don't know. I think it's cool to have ours marked by episode number.
I'll check.
We did. Just the other day, I ran into old friends on the bus that I hadn't seen in years, and I told them that I was, hosting a podcast and my art stuff, and they were very curious about the podcast, and they asked me how many episodes we'd done, and I said 24, and they're like, wow, that's a really good body of work, and in my head I was thinking wow, that's not really that many episodes, but when you think of it, how many episodes are in a season of a TV show that comes out in a year? We did way more episodes than that.
20, usually 20 to 24.
No, that was in the 70s. Now it's 12 or something.
Yeah. They like to keep it light, and one of them's a clip show.
Yeah, one of them's a clip show or something like that. Plus, they're 5 commercial breaks instead of 3 like there was in the 70s.
But keep in mind that a podcast is much easier than a TV show. It's just me and you at a table.
Yeah, for sure.
Look at this set that we have right now.
Yeah, Yeah, the set was pretty good. There's more than just me and you and a table. There's a tablecloth, there's lights, there's
new painting behind us?
There's a new painting being worked on.
Did you just sneak this back here?
I snuck it back there, yeah.
Okay, he's working on this painting now.
Yeah, I'm working on another big painting. This one's 6 by 4 feet. Not quite as big as the other one that was behind us previously, but hey, there's something new behind us. Yay! Redecorating the set of Arty Time.
So look, I did this podcast episode, and you know who comes out of nowhere and leaves a comment?
I know, but I don't think they know, so you might as well throw them
Chris Dyer came out of nowhere and dropped this comment on me. It's so long, you know me, I don't have time to read things, I'm a busy man. But Adam will read it for me right now.
Oh boy. Chris, sorry about this here.
So we're reading this live on Arty Time.
I knew it was your comment, I did not read the comment yet, so this is my first exposure to it.
He doesn't have Instagram, so...
I agree that it is beneficial for artists to share their person or character along with the expression art of such. Show more of where the art is coming from and why, but it should be something honest as the art. If we're turning into some kind of act like wrestling does solely to be liked by audiences, then the sincerity we wish to express in our soul's expression, the art both as paintings and our character, is not coming from the truest place, thus sold. That's where we have to observe the root intentions of why we do our art. Self-expression being number 1, healing the world, selling art. Then we can see if becoming a better wrestler might be aligned or not to our goal. So I agree with Germ. We all want to succeed on our path, and giving people what they want helps with that. But ideally, that can be aligned with sincerity too. I think Germ is somebody who can pull that off. He is naturally a shape-shifting trickster whose magic trick is about switching it up, thus keeping it real with his honesty, while boasting ego wrestling moves that kind of make fun of his targets. I think his root intention is to heal the masses, so the means justifies the end. But wouldn't it be nice if the art world didn't have to be a battle of egos? Would it be nice if we could just do beautiful medicine and artwork and share it for the enjoyment of all with no ego flexing or desire to crush your fellow artist? I think as long as we are able to live a comfortable life and are doing art, we're all champions. Much love.
Now you might want to take a drink of water because that was quite long.
Yeah, that was a fucking hell of
Chris, they know I don't read things. He's writing me novels here.
Yeah.
And no, I'm about to drop an elbow on you right now. Wrestling elbow. Because listen, it would be nice if the world was, not the way it is, but the world is the way it is. And social media, my friend, is, as the French say, le fake.
Well, I think what you were talking about that brought in this whole rant, let's call it, by Chris, was your idea that being someone that you're not and pretending to be something different and like whatever works to get people interested and excited, like that's cool. Like it's not the social media world is pretty fake on pretty much everybody's freaking, whether you're trying to sell stuff through your social media or you're just taking a picture of your supper that you let get cold to get the right picture before you ate it, right? Like, I know people straight up that do that, and they're not artists, they're not chefs, they're not cooks, they're just like trying to make, themselves
their life seem more interesting.
Yeah, exactly. So I get that. And I think maybe Chris interpreted it a different way, whereas it's like, be as fake as you want, it doesn't matter, pretend to be whatever you want, whatever is gonna sell, you can. But I think you were more meaning it like there's no rules. Maybe I'm wrong. I didn't watch the whole podcast.
I don't think that there's no rules. I just think know the game you're playing and play by your own rules.
Mm-hmm.
So understand the game that we're all playing here. And obviously, it's not good for business to fake. It's never good for business. But to embellish, to tell the story better, that's different.
Yeah, and it also depends what you're doing. I mean, like Germ's stories and his characters that he comes up with, and the way he's shifting from one focus for a little while to another, and then some of them come back, some of them you never see again. These kind of things, like it's constantly keeping things interesting
in this type of media where if you don't do that, well, it's boring.
Yeah, and I get that. So I wish I had watched the whole thing that Chris was commenting on, because I kind of read his big comment without knowing what he was commenting on exactly. But,
well, it has to do with.
So I'm just assuming what.
Well, it has to do with, because it's still a short clip, but it has to do with the world is pretty much like wrestling, and if you understand what happened in wrestling over the last 20 years, then you'll understand how to play an angle in most businesses, and that is that. Wrestling figured out that if they played characters that were larger than life, it was incredibly beneficial for them.
Mm-hmm.
So these characters were not like that offset. But on set, they played themselves to be larger than life because that's how people could identify with an archetype.
Here's something that I think is true of a lot of artists, is that they do things larger than life. A lot of artists, well, pretty much every artist creates things, and a lot of people don't ever get that far. They want to create things, they have ideas, they wish they could create things, they think that people that create things are in some way magical, and instead they are, but let's face it, pretty much anyone I know that's really successful from creating things created a fucking shitload of things before people started wanting those things.
It's more than, but that's what I'm trying to say, is it's more than just creating a shit ton of things. Put it this way, you're an artist.
It is.
You're an artist, you create things. No one's seen you create because you create them at your house. But when you're out in public, how do you get people to realize that you create things? You can't just sit down and start creating and force people to look at you. No, but if you, and this happens a lot in the States, if you go to the States, you see someone on the street who's just dressing like an absolute out there guy or girl, and then you ask them what do they do? They're an artist.
Mm-hmm.
And what they're trying to signal with the out there clothing is for you just to observe, pay attention, and then ask that question.
Yeah, it's also also to stand out so that you remember them next time you see them. Chris.
That is art.
Back to Chris Dyer. I've taken his skateboard and art business workshop several times. I'm taking it again this year. I can't freaking wait.
How many times has it been?
This will be, I think, the third time.
Okay.
Maybe the fourth. I think the third time. But I learn a lot, and especially because it's a different group of people, so different questions get asked. Also, the last time I took it was 3 or 4 years ago. Chris has had a lot of different experiences since then in his career that I can, learn from him by going to this workshop. Plus, I just have a really good time hanging around with him at Cosm and all the other people there too. So I'm really looking forward to this. But what I was getting at is Chris literally said that in one of his workshops, that like how you dress and look as an artist can be pretty important because it helps people remember you if there's something distinctive about you. And like he brought up the in the Matrix, the lady in the red dress. Mm-hmm. You know, that everyone looks at that lady in the red dress. So you got to find you don't got to, but it helps if you find a way to be the lady in the red dress, something that people will see and remember you from. Me, it's my long ass pointy beard these days. Like I get people looking at me. I get people looking at me on the metro and staring at me, and it takes me a minute to realize why. I'm like, what the fuck? Do I have something on my face?
Yeah, I get that too because
it's like, oh yeah, I do have something on my face. A beard that's longer and pointier than anyone else's in the whole freaking bus or that anyone's seen in a while. So you know, like, but it definitely gets people to look at me, and I definitely notice people comment on it and mention it, like. It's something, you know, I don't know. It's not Chris's dreadlocks and wild colors of clothing, but that's not me, that's Chris. You know, I couldn't have dreadlocks, I'm going bald, fuck.
If you were going to go bald, you would have went bald already, but you're 40.
Oh man, it's definitely thinning up there for sure. For sure. And I'm 39, not 40. Fuck
okay,
off.
oh shit. We're going to do an episode when he turns 40. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be. What, are you going to bring me fucking Depends and shit like that?
That's a good idea. See, I didn't have an idea, and now I have one. But you
can't use my own idea to prank me on my 40th
obviously,
birthday.
and I'm going to reference this. I'm going to reference episode 25 and bring it out. It's going to be amazing. But my point of all this is that you should observe the way that you are portrayed in society, because society is the stage. It's the largest stage of all, the stage of real life. And everyone goes out putting on a mask. Everyone spends the morning putting their fucking show makeup on and their costumes, and then they go out in the world. And the funniest is when, like, some of them, when they're at home, they're, like, totally in, like, PJs.
Me.
Oh, yeah? You just change your pants, really.
As soon as I get home, I take off I put on a hoodie and jogging pants, and that is my home uniform always.
Oh, yeah? Always. See, I don't have a home uniform.
I change before we put on Arty Time into my, like, nice branded clothing and stuff. I wasn't wearing this 10 minutes ago.
I get paint on everything, bro.
I do. That's why I take my nice branded clothes off. So, like, yes, I have my own clothing brand, but I'd rather not go through 10 of these when I can have one and change into something that's already.
It's really nice, that one.
It is. I haven't put these up on the site yet, so like.
Another Nexus sports jacket.
Another sports. Another. What's the word? So raglan sleeve sports.
So in the podcast that I did, I talked about how sports were basically fake, and sports was a way to get people's attention and keep their attention for various nefarious needs.
Well, at the same time, I think sports, in a way, if you're an athlete, it can be an art. Like, somebody who's really, really good at a sport is, in a way, an artist. They spent thousands of hours doing this thing to get really good at it that people enjoy watching.
100%, but why?
And there's some people that enjoy watching it for the team and the fighting, and my city's better than yours. But there's also people that really love. Yes. There's also people that really love the finesse of, like, a really nicely scored goal or a nicely.
The biggest thing, dude, the biggest thing in sports is the story. That. That's the biggest thing. To get people to tune in, it's the story.
But
if they can craft the story,
to be one of those guys on the court,
sure, whatever.
Is the dedication and the hours. Yes, it's not the story.
That's awesome too. But the biggest thing that is the most important is the story. And the story may be crafted by the puppeteers at the top. And that's why I think football and certain things like that have moments where it's fake. To be a referee in football, you have to have $1 million. What the fuck's that about?
I don't know, man. I don't follow football.
Well, I'm just trying to say, that's how you'd rig the game, is you'd have a fucking brotherhood of refs that fucking you can call on.
I guess.
Like the Freemasons of refs. And my point being is that the story is the most important thing that sells anything.
And my point is...
And that's how you sell your art too, is the story.
And my point is that it's great, but the story takes a long time to develop. All these sports teams that people care about, there was a time they didn't exist. And there was a time they were probably bottom of the league.
Yeah, they need a story franchise. They need to story it. They need to build it.
Exactly. So,
and if you have
as an artist, that's what I definitely needed to... I understood that from very, very early on when I started painting. I'm almost grateful that I was only 31 when I made my first painting. Because I kind of had an understanding of how branding works, and I was really motivated because I hated my fucking job at the time, and I really wanted to make my living a different way. I was scamming people working in shady call centers, selling ads on websites no one went to. We knew no one went to them. We kind of lied to clients, trying to convince
the story
them
you told yourself there's a sucker born every minute.
Exactly, pretty much. But I didn't feel proud at the end of the day of what I was doing, and I really felt motivated that this art thing could take me away from that and bring me to a better life where I'm, helping inspire people to, dig deep and follow their passions and whatever their creative whims are, because it's not impossible in this day and age to have an audience, to get your things out there, to ship them all over the world pretty easily, pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, these things are possible. They're not impossible. Like, I'll have to be honest, without the internet, I don't think I ever would have felt I could have been an artist, because without, Facebook and Instagram and whatever, email, even to share my art with people, like, I would have been like, I'm stuck. Battle. I would have felt stuck and like there's nowhere to go, and I don't know the right people, and I don't know the gallery owners.
We live in a beautiful age.
So, like, these are the kind of things that are tools at our disposal that's pretty freaking awesome. But again, like there is a certain entertainment aspect to being an artist. As somebody that's going to put content out there for people to consume, often in a way that you want them to react to maybe buy it, hopefully,
on the way
there is some of that in it. Like,
on the way
this whole idea that any artist is just trying to sell their art is fucking ridiculous.
No, trying to sell a lifestyle too.
They're not just trying to sell anything. They're trying to live their dreams. They're trying to earn money from their own hands and their sweat and blood and tears and the experiences and the emotions they put in it. And like, they have houses to pay and food to put in their mouths and, like, life, like everyone else has to pay for. So, like, are you just at your job because you're just trying to earn a paycheck?
Sometimes
some people are, but
it's not a good story.
But people shit on artists sometimes that sell their art for a lot of money, especially like that. They're just trying to sell and just trying to make money, and that doesn't exist. There's no such thing as an artist that just tries to make money and then turns around. They're like, I scammed all these people and I'm going to sit on my bed of money.
Well, I think there are some artists. I'm not going to name names, but there are some artists that have a little bit more of the percentage of that in the ratio pie chart.
For sure.
Those ones, they get a bad rap.
But they take bananas to walls and they're all over the fucking news.
Yeah, because the pie chart showed them.
Yes.
They flashed their pie chart.
But that's cool. Like, that's still not just...
It wasn't just the money. It was also the stunt.
It was the stunt, exactly.
Yeah, it was the story.
That was the art piece. It was amazing. It was hilarious.
I want to bring up the fact that before I came into the room, I saw that you had posted this unfinished piece on social media. Tell me about why you posted an unfinished piece.
Well, I post unfinished pieces pretty often. I mean, there was a time when Facebook would let your followers see posts in chronological order. And, so I'd post progress shots all the time as my paintings were developing, and people would develop an attachment for them and look forward to the next post and be like, oh, I love these colors, or oh, I don't like these colors, you should have used this instead, or whatever. People would start commenting. And
maybe I haven't brought up the 7-hit marketing strategy in a while.
No, we haven't brought that up in a while.
That is that a painting might not sell on the first hit, and you might not have anything to post. But the story is the fact that you're actually making something. So by flashing the painting that you're working on, it builds interest to that segment of the story. Let's say, i.e. the painting. So when you get to the actual finished shot, if you had post several progress shots and you're at post 5 of the painting, you might be close to that 7-hit marketing strategy, which is sometimes it takes someone 7 times before they actually realize they want that.
Yeah, and
you're increasing your chances of a sale.
And that goes hand in hand with social proof, because if somebody sees the same thing 7 times, then they might start thinking that this thing is something.
Of course.
Is it something or not something? Wasn't there a whole David Letterman thing where it was like something or not something, and people would come do an act and they'd vote whether that was something or not something?
Oh, really? Because it sounds more like
or maybe it was
David, the guy there, Seinfeld guy.
David Seinfeld.
The guy who was in Seinfeld, Larry David.
Larry David, no.
Sounds more like Larry David type joke.
No,
something.
It was
something.
It was a real thing. It was a real segment.
Okay.
It was like Stupid Human Tricks or something. I'm pretty sure. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, my point being is that, we're talking about the pie chart and trying to earn money and not just and make a sale. Mm-hmm. That's still an important part of being an artist. and really consider the 7-hit marketing on something and really put a pin on some of the things that you want to move, like that painting. And you'll see some artists, they take a painting and you're constantly seeing it. You're seeing it before there's a black line, then there's a black line, and then they parade it all over fucking town and take pictures all over the place. That's genius.
Yeah, it can definitely help.
Even if some people are like, I'm not looking to buy that, but there that thing is again. The person who is going to buy it, he's buying it on the 3rd post or the 4th post.
There's also situations where for sure people will see something, they're like, oh, I really want that. But let's face it, social media is flooded with different things to get your attention. So is the rest of the internet.
Supper's ready.
Yeah, I gotta go. The bus.
The wife calls.
Yeah, this, that, the other thing, and you forget about it, and you see it again, and you're like, oh yeah, there's that thing I wanted again. Buy.
Yeah.
Maybe that's 2 or 3 times that happens before they bookmark your thing, and then they might go back to the page 2 more times because they didn't get paid yet, and they're like looking at it. Like I do that a lot. If I want to buy something before payday, I'll bookmark the page.
Of course, I forget about things. For all the time, I forget about things, and then they come back and it's like, oh yeah.
Like, this pendant that I'm wearing right now, I happen to be pretty lucky because I ended up buying a couple of pendants from this guy. I really liked his work. So I bookmarked his Etsy shop so I could go check it out often when it was like near my paydays and whatever, see what was going on. But because I bought a couple of pieces from him that way, I also got access to, like, he'll send me a message sometimes and be like, hey, I have new stock. You want a sneak peek? And it's like, yeah, sure. So this one he gave me on a sneak peek. It's super beautiful. It's a little ammonite in a copper wire wrap. Anyway, I guess I can bring it up close there.
No. Okay, so what happened was the guy basically made a list of people that are buying, and he attacks them directly.
But I feel
what do you call that when?
But when he finally posted this on his social media, sorry, it's like
you put it right over my face.
Not super in focus. Yeah, I might as well. There you go. Look, a big spiral out, Germ. So like my point was that because I got a sneak peek at it, I was able to snag it at a pretty awesome price before he put it on his shop. And then when he did post it on social media and said, hey, look what happens when you get a sneak peek. You can score pieces like this before anyone else. And it was his most popular piece he ever posted.
Really?
I was like, yeah. I scrolled down his wall for quite a bit. And it could also be, most popular piece he ever posted.
It could also be the story because, like, it's already sold.
Mm-hmm.
And he's saying he sold it in a sneak peek before even showing it, so it shows like bravado and really like the advancement of the business. So a lot of the friends are liking it, like, you go, Johnny.
Yeah, that too.
So there's a whole it's
also just particularly a beautiful piece.
Yes, don't get me wrong, but I think that the storyline of it is great too.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also people DMing, how do I get in the sneak peek category? Mm-hmm. And he's building his email list. Was what we used to call that. I don't know what you want to call it nowadays.
DM list, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, just a list of people that you know buy that convert.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing evil about that. It's like these people care and buy, and literally you're better off shooting it to them, the comments, than a shot in the dark to fucking anyone who's watching.
Yeah, no, and like that's something that I honestly got to be better at because like when I developed my art career, I got to be honest, I still like hold on to the old Facebook days too much sometimes because like I didn't have to DM people. People DM me a lot, like to the point where I couldn't even answer a lot of DMs. That's why I made my website. I got sick and tired of people asking me all these questions about buying things that cost $7 that I make $4 off of stickers, and they're asking me what they're made of and if this and that, and the backs, do they have scores in them? I'm like, look, go buy them on my website. There's all the details. I don't want to DM people back and forth for $3-4 at a time. Here's my website.
Mm-hmm.
So I built a whole website, and I'm really glad I did. But shit, I totally forget where I was going with this. Oh yeah. So I kind of feel like I'm bothering people if I'm reaching out to them in the DMs. But at the other hand, at work, where I'm selling ads on screens in Boston Pizzas and trying to help train other salespeople that aren't as experienced as selling ads as I am. I spent 17 years selling ads on websites. So like I tell them all the time, I'm like, you're not bothering somebody. If you're giving somebody a good opportunity that's going to help their business grow, then you're not bothering them. A smart business person will want to hear what you have to offer, and if it's a good deal, they'll be into it. So you're not bothering people. Don't feel like you're bothering people by picking up the phone and making that phone call. Or if a guy said he's interested and he didn't call you back, for sure you call that guy back.
Yeah.
So like I gotta kind of get that way a little more myself with my art because I do have a lot of people that buy from me many times, but I very, very, very rarely DM them. But when I have, the couple times I have, they've ended up buying from the stuff I showed them.
And now that's not to say you just hit them up out of nowhere and talk directly about your selfish fucking sale. You know, this is still a human to human interaction and not a business to business. So ask them how they're doing first. Like, hey buddy, how are you doing? And the person will be like, you know, whatever, I'm doing good. What about you? Well, I'm trying to sell this piece, you know? And it's fucking more digestible than coming out of left field on someone.
I guess I probably came out of left field to the people that
you gotta not come out of left
but
field.
But it wasn't so out of left field. It was like, hey, I know what you've bought from me before, and like before I show this to people, I thought you might be interested in it. So like, yeah, it's out of left field where I didn't say, hey, how are you doing, and have a whole bunch of small chat first, but it was based on previous interactions.
Yes, if you have previous interaction, then there's more of a play area, a gray zone.
Yeah.
But look, I have people who literally message me out of absolute left field. I don't even know who they are. Okay, I don't know if they've ever commented or liked anything before, and I don't keep tabs of it. But you normally
know who your fans are.
Who's
you
commenting.
Kind of get to until you
and then
got
we talked about this before. There's the 2 cents or the 10 cents. $2 strategy.
Oh yeah, the $1.98 strategy.
The $1.98 strategy is you go around and you comment on people that you like and potentially would like their support in any way, like reposts or just helping with tips and tricks. Comment on their things, because if they're getting 1,000 likes,
they don't look at them.
They don't know what's
very
going on.
rarely look at my likes. Like if I happen to be logged in when somebody hits like, I'll see their name and the notification.
So that's a shot in the dark.
I don't go look when it says 122 likes. I don't go look who those.
Leave a legitimate comment.
But if I have 7 comments or 14 comments, I know who every one of those people are.
If you want me to buy your art, 100%. Here's the trick to fuck me. You comment enough times that I know who you are. Then you message. And then you say what you're selling. If I know who you are, it's like the 7-hit marketing. I'm like, oh, this person maybe bought a shirt for me. Maybe they did something. Well, I guess I'll just buy their thing now.
I'll be honest,
But if you come out of left field and I don't know who you are,
I'm pretty impulsive when it comes to my art buys and stuff. So like selling me art is hard. If you DM me to try and sell me art, there's a good chance I'll awkwardly shut you down.
But what if you think 7-hit marketing that you might know them and they might have supported you? Now you're confused.
Even if
like I come at you and I'm like, honestly, hey, I got this rat boy thing here.
Even if I know them and they supported me, like I'm pretty picky with when and what I want to buy. Like I can
sell you a rat boy any day.
You can. That's because I believe your art is a good investment and it meets my criteria for what I want to spend my money on. I also have a huge rat boy collection already, so adding more rat boys to my large rat boy collection just is like
the year of the rat. Eh?
I can literally eventually have a fucking GermDee exhibition of rat boys without GermDee even being involved in it, except for the fact that he created them.
That'd be dope.
Like I could pretty much open a small Chris Dyer museum, like a little fucking.
And
grotto
on the outside. Can I buy that? Can I buy that back? No, you're not allowed in. No Chris Dyer's allowed.
So like, you know, like, and it's not to be rude or mean to anyone. It's like, I'll be honest, if I'm spending my money on like on things I wear is one thing, but no, not everyone thinks that way. I'm an art investor. I really consider what art I'm spending my money on because I like to invest in art that's going to be worth more in the future.
No, I meant everyone feels the way that if you come out of left field on someone, they want to put up a guard and be like, no, stop. What are you doing here? Especially if it's for like more money than I sell my art and you're out of left field. No bueno. No bueno right there. I'm always so confused by that.
Like, yeah, I mean, I have a couple of paintings that are on the way from New York from my friend and artist Calyptus in New York.
Calyptus, if you're watching, the fuck's the hold up, boy?
It's on the way. He sent me tracking.
Okay, good.
Good. Thank you, by the way. So yeah,
how long should you wait to ship a painting after someone has handed you the money for the canvas and the shipping?
No more than 3 business days.
Okay. I think it could be a little bit longer. Let's say your shipping day is Monday and the person purchases on a Tuesday. Do you change your whole life now?
Yes, because that person bought something from me and I'm competing against Amazon Prime overnight free shipping. So yes, I think that making people wait 10 or 12 days for something that they spent hundreds or potentially hundreds of dollars on is
not the right way to do business. We talked about painting. Yeah, sure. We talked about painting. No, any product. A pen. I bought a pen, bro.
I usually try and ship any orders within 3 business days.
Okay. I think that sometimes
always. That's just me. I don't like making my clients wait. I even less like getting clients that message me going, "Hey, where's my thing?" and then a day later it's there.
Well, that happens all the time.
I almost always like they get their
all the time.
They get their things the day before they were gonna send that message. That's what I like to do.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So like,
I think there's something metaphysical that happens where like the package enters their realm, you know, like in their town, and then it starts sending tinglies on them, and they're like, "Hey, my package! Yes, my package!" And they start messaging, "Where's my package?" And I've just learned to tell them it's gonna arrive tomorrow, and then the next day they hit me up. How did you know? And with pictures of it, and sometimes it's even like that day. It's just like, go check your fucking mail, and they go check their mail, and it's there. It's like the weirdest.
The thing is I
phenomenon.
literally never have people messaging me asking me where's my package because I always ship within 7. It's very, very rare that I take more than 3 business days to ship.
I got like a guy in Sweden that doesn't.
I
know
have
where his
a full.
package is.
I
don't know where it is. I have another package.
I have a full-time
Sweden.
job. And I still get my packages shipped within 3 business days.
No.
Anything longer than that, really.
Like, I think you're right. I'm doing one tomorrow.
You're running if you're selling stuff to people people are like time is money. This person that's buying something from you, they're giving you a portion of their life, and you deserve to get that expedited as quickly as possible. That's my opinion. If you're not ready to ship stuff, you shouldn't be in business yet.
And
if you don't have boxes ready, if you don't have bubble wrap, if you don't have bubble mailers to ship your pins in, if you don't have you shouldn't be selling this shit yet. Or you should be ready to go buy it the next day once it's paid.
Because that's a learning curve. You gotta get ready. You gotta jump on that horse. And
like I literally have a closet full of boxes of pretty much every size. I have rolls.
Pizza boxes like crazy out there.
I have rolls of bubble tape. I have envelopes of many different sizes. I have stamps ready to go. Like if you order from me, like most of the time, I'll be honest, I ship the next business day. It's even rare that I take 3 business days.
Yeah,
like,
sure. I've been.
I don't like having that in the back of my mind. Oh, I got this thing to pack and ship. It's like I pack it and ship it. It's not on my mind anymore.
That's very true. If it builds up, it could be nightmaric. Because then you're like, okay.
Then you start to feel guilty, and then literally you have all of them. Literally, you can forget about it.
Yeah, there's people who bought in the DM. There's people who bought on the website, and now you're not sure if you collected all of them. And then you do the shipment, and you can have that one guy who comes out. Have you forgot about me?
That happened to me. There's
so you can't let it build up.
There's a glass artist. I bought something from him in 2018. I asked him about it a couple of times. I showed you, right?
Oh, and he was like, "Yeah, I shipped it," and then he found it.
Yeah, he's like, "Yeah, I shipped it," because he packed a bunch of things. He shipped them all on the same day. He assumed mine was in the package, and like I came back at him a couple of times, and he's like, "Yeah, I shipped it." But like, you know, he's not. He's a relatively new artist, and he's a client of mine. I wanted to encourage him, get him going. You know, it was really cool to see him be super hyped about what he was doing with this art thing that he was starting to do with glass. And so I was really excited to support him. But he never shipped to Canada. So when it had been 2 or 3 months later, he's just assuming like, oh, it takes forever to get to Canada. Like it's on its way somewhere. He didn't think about it too much more. And then, you know, like, we're now 2020. I got a message from him like a week and a half ago, like, "Oh man, I'm so sorry. I found your package like behind my desk. It slipped down or whatever. Like, I'm shipping it." Like, literally 2 years later. And, I mean, you know, I kind of let it go. It wasn't a big purchase. And I knew he was just getting started at that point. I didn't want to give him a hard time.
From the artist's point of view, if someone comes at you and they're like, "I didn't get your package," you know what? Take it on the chin, send them another package. Unless it's a painting. If it's a painting,
be reasonable.
Get tracking, please.
Yeah, do not send original art without tracking.
Get tracking, please.
Honestly, in this day and age, don't also...
Just pay $20 more, please.
Also, if you're buying art and stuff, like, from artists that you don't have a relationship with and you don't know, and they're asking you to pay PayPal, you're really better off goods and service than friends and family.
Why? What happens?
You can't claim any if you buy something from an artist on PayPal and you pay friends and family and the artist never sends your shit, you can't claim the money back.
Oh, okay, yeah, or whatever.
I mean, once you've had a relationship with somebody and you bought from that artist a few times, then whatever. If they ask you to send friends and family and you know their stuff always gets there on time, like, and you feel comfortable, I mean, it saves them $3 or $4.
Okay, but this is the point I want to make. The reason why you ship in 3 business days, and if they don't get it, you ship another package, is because someone who bought may buy again. And if you fumble that, if you fumble the feeling,
Mm-hmm.
the how it's gonna play out, they will they'll be left with a bad taste in their mouth and they might never buy again.
We've
and then you also don't get the third party marketing. They get this shirt, but it took them so long, and it doesn't make sense. It's not the right size or something like that. They're not talking to anybody about it. They're not even wearing it.
Yeah, it's not exciting anymore.
You get it to them fast. It's the thing they wanted. They're wearing it. They're getting the reaction that they want from friends. They're saying it's
not only that.
It's not a Millward original.
There's been enough times when people got the thing and shouted me out, but in their shout out, they're like, I can't believe I got this 4 or 5 days. I just ordered it 4 days ago and it came from Canada. And like it's like you're in the border across New York. Like I could drive to your house in 2.5 hours.
Yeah,
but they're all blown. It's like
I think it's because most artists do take a long time to ship it.
Most artists are terrible.
You're above par.
Most
or
artists
under par. Whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
You're better than the rest.
I'm smarter than the average bear. But yeah, I mean, I personally I understand that people can order nice looking things from Wish and Amazon and IKEA, and like they don't need to support an artist. So like those are who when it comes to shipping, those are who I'm competing with. I'm competing with Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
If you order something from me, there's no way I can get it there as fast as Amazon Prime, especially not for free.
But you have to understand the reason why Amazon's so prevalent.
I can get it there a lot faster than 99% of other artists out there.
The reason why Amazon became so prevalent is because they went after the 2-day shipping.
Mm-hmm.
People buy things for instant satisfaction. That's why the real world still works.
Mm-hmm.
Because you go and exchange money and you get the thing you want. Some people will pay $40, $60 more just for that act of having it live and not having to wait.
Or not having to risk buying it from China, and I'm not even talking about the current coronavirus situation. I'm talking about, some people like
think about my golf thing that
I've done business with companies in China to have products made, my stickers and stuff like that a couple of times. So like I understand that like chances are if you're doing business with a company in China to have products made, you'll eventually get them. Yeah, it's in China. It's getting shipped on a boat, not on a plane, unless you're paying $400 for shipping. It's gonna take 2 months. But like, there's a lot of people who won't even take that risk. Like, it's too big of a risk. I can't risk $400. I'm gonna lose my money dealing with China, and they'll find a guy doing it here for $800 because like it's here, and they'll pay $800.
So my point being, instant satisfaction is just it's the bread and butter of sales transaction, and you have to still honor that.
Mm-hmm.
So when someone buys something from you, the return on investment, the instant satisfaction, you have to somehow meet that.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to be able to meet it right away, but look, if they're in Montreal, I ain't shipping it.
Meet and exceed.
I'm not even shipping it because I saved the $15 that it costs to ship in my own town for some reason. It's cheaper to ship to Japan. Explain that to me. You ship to Japan, $8. Ship in Montreal, oh, slow down there, my friend. So I'd rather just drive it to their address and fucking chuck it at the door, because then they'll just be like, holy fuck, like I just bought this and it just appeared.
Yeah.
And I somehow get that instant satisfaction. And sometimes I can meet them too and have a personal interaction, which happened yesterday, I think. Yeah, yesterday I had a day off. I didn't have my son or anything, so I went downtown and did some deliveries. And meeting people, it's such a great experience. I mean, it's really how I built this whole business, I think, in the Montreal region, was meeting people and taking the time to meet them. And some artists believe that it's more important to spend time in the studio. I would argue that's not the case, unless you keep moving around and changing your location. But if you have one location, having met that person, most people don't ever meet an artist of a higher caliber, professional artist. So when they meet a professional artist, the other artists simply don't exist anymore. Because now they're the third party. Yeah, he's just some guy that I see on the internet. But I know Germ. He's a good friend of mine. I met him that one time.
Exactly. It's kind of like, if you grew up near, or you met Jimi Hendrix because you're in his hometown.
You're buying
Jimi
Jimi
down the street from Seattle. You're not only that, you're telling everybody for the rest of your life I went to his first concert. You have no idea how many people I tell that I've been buying Chris Dyer's art since 2004 or 5. You have no idea. Like, I want to go get that receipt.
What's the receipt?
A receipt from
Chris?
Yes.
Okay. I'll cover for you.
Yeah. Well, I'll be right back. I know.
One of the funniest things about him buying Chris's art is that Chris tries to buy it back, and Adam refuses.
Well, now, here's why Chris tries to buy it.
Okay, well, I want to just put a context out there. Chris had sold Peeling Bodies. This is one of his most famous paintings. He sold it for $200, and he was able to buy it back off the person for $200. Outrageous. That person is so nice, you know, to be like, yeah, I supported you, and now I don't want it anymore, and sure, no return on investment, I'll just get my $200 back. A saint.
That's not
Adam
happening
is not
with
a
Peeling
saint.
Bodies too, buddy. Sorry.
Adam is not a saint, and he has Peeling Bodies #2.
I do.
Okay? Which is arguably a better, more advanced version of it.
I have here Positive Creations invoice number 3004 for 2 Chris Dyer original paintings.
It's the 4th invoice. You didn't even
one of them being Peeling Bodies #2, the other one being one of his first longboard skateboards, Progressive Evolution #2. And I spent a total of $1,200 Canadian on those 2 paintings.
Yeah. So what was Peeling Bodies 2 sold for?
600. They were 600 each.
600
Canadian. That's like $40 US or something. No, so it's more than that, but yeah.
So you know, Chris is trying to buy it back, understandably.
Yeah, but at least he offered me $1,000 for it.
Yes, at least he's trying to to grease the wheel here.
He pretty much put it to me like, dude, if you're ever fucking in the gutter and you need $1,000, like I'll buy Peeling Bodies too.
You were in that gutter and you still didn't sell it.
No, I'd never sell it. Not to Chris, I bought that painting as an investment. In fact, I bought all of Chris's paintings as an investment. I don't buy stocks. I don't have an RRSP. I don't have mutual funds. What I do have is a bunch of art that I paid almost nothing for from some pretty well-known artists that is gaining value by the day and by the post that they're getting their shit out there. And some people would say that that's a terrible financial strategy.
That's not true. Art, if you invest properly in art, makes more money than any stock.
It's 100% true. And I'd say I don't know, man, how many people invested in Enron and how did that go for them?
Well, some people made a lot of money.
Yeah, if they sold before the shit hit the fan.
But let me tell you, if they bought a Warhol Campbell soup, when everyone, keep in mind, when he came out with the Campbell soup, people thought it was stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And someone bought it.
Oh, people used to tell me all the time.
And you know how much people thought it was stupid, so the price wasn't even high. So think about it now. They're literally worth millions.
Yeah, people used to tell me all the time that I was stupid to buy art from this dreadheaded hippie who couldn't spell. He's trying to release books and he can't spell properly.
Well, look, he spelled okay in that long comment. Maybe he had spell check.
He definitely had spell check on his phone. But yeah, I guess the whole point I brought this out is I don't know.
You want to just flex on everyone here. That he still has the invoice.
But there was a point that I was.
What year is that?
2004.
2004.
December 2004.
16 years ago.
Yeah. Chris Dyer.
So you know what? It also goes to show that most artists go a long way to tell a story. For Chris to get to where he is, it's 16 plus years of working and believing in yourself.
If I'm not mistaken, 2004 was before, that was 4 years before Facebook even existed. I don't know what his MySpace situation was, but I was never on MySpace. I was not into. I didn't have anything to put on it.
Facebook might have started, but we did not.
2008. Facebook was founded in 2008.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because I graduated high school in 2005, and I'm pretty sure in the college years is when I get onto Facebook.
Maybe in your late college years. 2008 was when Facebook started.
Wow.
And it was only really got to maybe I'm wrong. Maybe 2008 is when I got on Facebook.
I think it's 2006.
You could be fucking right.
I think it might have started in totally 2005, right. But the mass started coming in 2006.
I think you're right. I think I joined in.
No, but this is website years. This is Chris Dyer black background website years.
Yeah. I used to love his website. I had it bookmarked. I went to Chris's website almost every day. I was itching to see new art by this guy, and he had a little blurb that would come new art, and I'd fucking click there every day. Sometimes I'd go in the morning and at night, especially if I knew from going to give him deposits on these that he was working on something and it was getting close to being done. I'd be like, A, I wanted to see it, and B, potentially buy it.
Yeah.
So oh yeah, my point was the investment. That was my point. So yeah.
It's already worth double. By Chris's
that's Chris offering me that. If I put it on the wall in a gallery that sells visionary art, or if I offered it in the Cosm gift shop or something, I don't think I would take less than at least $8,000 US for it.
Mm-hmm. No, that's awesome.
Probably more.
And it's more about like the story, that one. So when you buy art, you really want to get a good piece. He's got my Rat Boys. I don't make a lot of Rat Boys, which is good for you. It's amazing for you.
Somewhat.
Because it is one of my most memorable...
It would almost be better if you only made Rat Boys, but...
Yeah, because then you'd have the original, like some of the original ones. But Rat Boy is like a famous shirt that I make. And as for art, I don't want to overkill it. But then again, in this day and age, like, sometimes you got to cling to an image and not do 1,000 images. So in the year of the rat, maybe I will bring him back a couple times to play on that. I think he is a powerful image.
Well, I think
I was wearing his shirt earlier
today. Me personally, I really built like my following by doing one style of art, my mandalas. I only started experimenting with my other style of art after I had already been doing art full time for 3 years with the mandalas. I hadn't painted in any other style. I did once or twice on the side and didn't really show it to people, but you know, before I started doing this style behind me that you're seeing and this kind of thing here, I had done strictly mandalas for years and developed my reputation as a mandala artist. I really enjoyed it, but eventually it came, like there was sort of this whole spiritual vibe of a lot of the people that were attracted to my mandala art. And once I got people starting to spend $2,000-$3,000 on my paintings, a lot of my fans changed. A lot of them started writing me nasty messages that I'm going to hell for selling sacred art and that I'm polluting the spirit of mandalas by putting price tags on them and this and that and the other thing. It's like, well, I'm also dedicated my entire life and every single day to painting them for you. And you love them because they're really nice, and I do bigger, more detailed ones than almost any other mandala artist that you know. And the reason I'm able to do that is because I have people paying me $2,000 for them, so I can sit and get real freaking focused and then make a product out of it because it's beautiful, then other people want it in a different format, and pay my rent and buy food.
Yeah, I don't think you need to resonate with someone who's having jealousy vibes.
But that got to me personally because it had to do with the thing that Chris was talking about in his rant against your wrestler thing. Is like, it got to be annoying to have these people accusing me of being fake because there's money involved. It's like, fuck you. Really, fuck you. I work really hard, but you can't say that on social media to somebody.
No, of course.
Because then everyone else is going to be like, oh,
you don't want to play that role. Yeah. You don't want to be that guy.
But like,
you have to do it with finesse.
So there it is. You're fake on social media. If you have in your gut reaction is fuck you, buddy, and you write nothing. Or you write, or delete his comment, or you
read his comment live on air.
Yeah.
Fuck you, buddy. No, but the point being is that you should always remember that success breeds other things. Money comes to someone who's successful. It's not that you get money and then you're successful. So you should have to you strive to be a success in what you do, and from there, great things will come. And if someone latches on that money is coming, they're an idiot. Because it wasn't money that begat the success.
Yeah, no, I never created art just for money. Like I said before, I don't believe such a thing exists.
You want to be a successful artist.
Also I was getting sober. When I started painting and really getting into it, I was going through a big change in my life where I had been a druggie and alcoholic for many years. I lived my life in bars and fucking doing coke in the bathroom and shit. And it was time for something different. Art helped me find something that made me feel better than the partying. And so there was a big, like, I used to literally go out from Friday night, come home Saturday night. Like, I'd be drinking for 36 to 48 hours. Sunday was just sleep the whole day away, order a pizza, and hope I can make it to work on Monday without too bad of a headache. That was my life for many, many years. It was fun at the time, but started to catch up to me. So the art and getting used to that and finding like all of a sudden now I have this weekend that I'm not blottoed and I can do stuff. I'm like, I can sleep twice or 3 times on a weekend? What? Like, I used to not go to bed on Friday or Saturday. I'd go to bed, crawl into bed Sunday morning at 9 o'clock, and sleep the whole day away and go to work on that was my pattern. So now all of a sudden when I started painting and I wasn't drinking anymore, I had all this free time to fill up. And I filled it up with painting mandalas because it was something that when I finished a new one, it gave me such a sense of accomplishment inside. Like, I actually finished something that's healthy for me and that's good, and then other people are enjoying too. And there was that whole aspect to my story. But then, like, eventually, you know, once I saw how serious it was and people were really into it and that, like, holy shit, man, maybe I can actually do this and turn this into a business and make this like a career. And like, that was pretty much my plan from the get-go. But like, to see it happen so fast and to have that reality manifest itself, and then to have a lot of those people who supported at the beginning start kicking me in the nuts when like they were supporting me. Yeah, go quit your call center job. It's amazing. And then I did, and I had to raise my prices so that I could afford my rent and food. And now they're all kicking me in the nuts, going, "Oh, now you're doing it just for money. It feels like a business. You're not a real artist."
But clearly, like, they weren't the majority.
They weren't the majority, but there was enough of them.
Yeah, of course. But they're just randos where it's like, what did they really want? Did they want you to just, like, start up and then fail because that's what they do with their fucking goals?
Yes, that's exactly what they wanted.
Let me tell you where they can go with those fucking views.
Mm-hmm.
The hell?
But honestly, it's part of the reason that I'm focusing a little more on this kind of art these days. This Nintendo game, video game inspired, fun, playful, abstract art. It doesn't have the connotations of deep spiritual meanings and healing behind it. I'm literally doing it because I fucking enjoy it. And when I finish one and step back, I get the same sense of accomplishment as I do when I paint in a mandala. But I'm looking at something a little more fun, a little less like meditation-y, and a little more like just pure joy.
I think that in the world of manifesting your dreams, that's the most important thing. Is to follow your passion, and the one that's highly tuned to the joy aspect.
100%.
So you're passionate about painting, but you get more joy out of the video game style.
For now.
That's the better play, because you want that vibration to get out to the world so that like-minded people magnetize to it.
Resonate with it and get drawn
and then
to it.
they feel that too. They feel a sense of joy, and that's how you kind of, you know, I feel empathy for the people who start things and don't finish them, because I was once that person too. You know what I mean?
The only thing I used to start and finish was a beer.
But at some point, I don't think it's malicious to say that they just don't resonate with us anymore. And you want them to join you in the fucking sunlight of finishing things. But if they refuse to, doesn't mean you're going into the darkness. And that's just the truth of the matter in anything in life, is that if you want something, don't look for your closest friends to join you, okay?
Oh, yeah.
The truth is, you're probably going to have to say goodbye.
Yeah, the truth is, if you go for something that is your passion and your friends, not your current friends' passions, you're going to lose those friends. It's just untenable to maintain close relationships and friendships with people who are living completely different lives.
Now, it's harsh to say you're going to lose them. You're not going to lose them. They're just not going to be as close.
Yeah, they won't be.
But you know what's going to happen? You're going to meet people that actually like the thing you do, and you're going to be getting new close friends. You're not going to lose.
Totally.
You're not going to be
you're not going to be like a total loner in your basement by yourself unless you have IBS. But like, I met this guy, you know, like, I didn't know Germ until, 2.5 years ago. I lived in Costa Rica when I started painting, so I started developing some cool arty relationships there. Thank God Chris Dyer lives in Montreal, so when I moved back from Costa Rica, I kind of had at least Chris, but he's traveling all the time, so I'd see him once or twice a year. So now, like, having Germ to hang around with, he's a dude that's on kind of the same mission as me. We both, like, kind of talk the same language. We can relate to each other.
We go to Chris's birthday party when he's in town, and all kinds of, like, potlucks at his house. So we do have that network of close-minded...
Like, whether either of us have a good day or a bad day and we share about it with each other, we can relate. If I have especially, like, if I have a really good day and I say I sold a painting for $3,000 to my friend who's on an hourly salary, he's like, he gets mad. He doesn't consider the fact that I haven't sold a painting in 3 months.
And you can't even tell them because they poo-poo it and they make you feel bad about it.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can't even tell them.
Or if I have a bad day and I complain to my friend, he's like, well, dude, it's your own fault. Like, why don't you go do something real with your life? Get a job. Like, so, like, it's not fun. I don't enjoy hanging around with somebody that's reacting to my stories and my life.
Your wins and losses and the worst. Like, they just won't do it right.
Yeah, it's like, come on. So anyway, I enjoy hanging around with Germ, and like, look, it's pretty important, you know, like, I think Will Smith's, or I don't know if he repeated it or he's the first guy who said it, but he said, you can't soar like an eagle if you always hang around with turkeys.
Oh my god!
And
Dude,
you really-
imagine you're a turkey in his life. You're one of those guys like you knew the Jimi Hendrix. I used to go to his house.
Yeah.
Like, wait, that bitch just called me a turkey?
But like,
Motherfucker. But look, even if you are a
become-
turkey, turkeys can fly, okay?
But you become
They
a
literally
product.
can.
You will absorb characteristics of the people you spend a lot of time with. So if you want to
Yeah.
become a successful artist, try and spend some time with successful artists. Whether that means online with us, or whether that means going to new galleries and hanging around and meeting people, or going to studio visits, or going to Cosm, or you're going to New York because you're living in fucking butt nowhere, Wisconsin. Like, whatever, meeting and hanging around with cool artists, like, do online, social media, like we said, comment on their things, get to know them. Believe me, any artist you comment on their stuff a lot, they'll eventually really...
They'll care.
They'll care.
Because you cared.
I mean, if you comment every day for 5 years and, like,
remember his name?
never buy anything,
We forgot the
always,
guy's
like,
name, but he bought.
that's not necessarily...
Oh, what's his
what I
name?
go
Remember
about
that
it,
guy
but-
that was like killing it at the beginning? Because we used to talk about $8 strategy, and there was one guy who was murdering it. Mondo Maestro.
Oh yeah, Wando Maestro.
Mondo,
yeah.
and also
Mondo, where are you, bro?
and also all kinds of other things.
He was the maestro. He had like 10 accounts.
Oh, dude, he was killing it. He was
And
so
he's gone.
yeah, and he was legit killing it. The problem was that like some people who like are lame were like, "Shut up, Mondo Maestro," but really. Why are you telling this guy to shut up? He was killing it. He was
I
killing the
miss
game.
him. I
Everyone
miss
knew
him.
his name. I still remember
miss
his
him.
name.
I
He was
miss
killing
him.
the game.
Mhm. So like,
Oh,
yeah, I
he
mean,
killed
like
it.
that's
He killed it. He was
like,
so good.
and again, like if you, I did that at the beginning, and sometimes I came out of left field at artists and asked them for advice without having a proper relationship first, and they would either ignore me, some shut me down rudely, some took time and gave me some advice.
Those are all learning curves.
So you know, like, like I think I said at the beginning, there's no rules. There's no wrong way to
if
do
you
it.
have good intentions, they'll be felt. Don't
Yeah.
worry.
Yeah.
But if you're
Like-
coming out asking their price and you have no intention to buy, stop that.
Well, I mean that depends. you know.
No, why don't you ask? This is the art that I'm kind of doing. I've been doing it for this long. What do you think I should price it as?
Oh, if you're asking, okay, I
Don't come asking the person what their price is and then you fucking ghost and disappear because that person thought you were a potential sale and really you were nefariously just trying to get your own prices.
most
And
people,
that's
most people,
not good intentions.
in my personal experience, more people write me and ask me like, how do you price your art, or how should I?
That's
price
how
my
you
art?
should do it. That's how you should do it. Because the person will be honest with you.
If somebody writes to me and says, how should I price my art? You know what I do? I give them the link to Arty Time episode where we talked about pricing art, and I tell them, here, watch this.
That's sick. And if they don't watch it, then that's on them.
Yeah, totally.
It's literally just an hour of your
Yeah,
time.
Not even. It's like you can fast. I think we talked about it at like 4 minutes in or something. I give them the time code.
Oh, okay, damn, you are generous, my man. But this is what Arty Time's all about, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You could learn quite a bit. We brought up $8 strategy again.
$1.80. That's what it is. The $1.80
Yeah.
strategy. It's
If
leaving
you-
it's leaving a comment on 90 people's accounts a day. 90 people in your industry and your that you're a fan of, people you want to notice you. If you leave a comment on 90 different people's accounts
This is also
a
could be
day,
a gallery that you're infatuated
gallery,
with, that you want to be part of,
a local festivals page that you want to get a vendor
Start
booth
commenting.
at,
and then eventually send them a message. Don't send them a message right away. Do the comments first,
Mm-hmm.
so they kind of think they know you when you send the message.
Mhm.
Just these two tactics alone, 7-hit marketing and $8 strategy, you can change your business in a year.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be freaking out in a year, and you'll be like, "Those motherfuckers were right."
Mm-hmm. And
Those
it takes
two things are
but
huge.
it does take time.
It takes time. Like anything, you can't.
You can't half-ass it. There's no.
He's selling this. He was selling this for nothing, and it still was. It was still like it took him a long time to get to that point where he believed
He
that-
could get $600
that he
for
could get
paintings,
$600, and he was. Let me tell you, probably doing backflips in his house when he got $600.
I'm pretty sure he told me he was surprised I said yes when he came at me.
And then he
Those
went to-
prices.
and then he
thought
bought
I
a
was gonna-
Thailand
He thought I
ticket.
was gonna lowball him more.
And then he bought a Thailand ticket with your money.
Yeah, and then I got to watch him go to Thailand. And
That's
send
how.
us emails.
That's how much he didn't even believe this. So it takes time to build up your belief system, but you'll get there.
Mm-hmm.
Like anything, it's like a plant. It takes time to grow, and there's, if you want to be a robust tree, just be patient.
Mm-hmm.
and make the right moves, send out the right branches in the right areas.
But also don't beat yourself up too much over mistakes if you've made them or as you make them, because God knows I'm going to make more mistakes.
For sure.
Who knows? Maybe Chris is going to fucking blast me for reading his comment on stage and you're like, fuck you, Adam, I'm not buying peeling
I'll
bodies.
never $1.80 scratch you again.
I'll never buy peeling bodies from you, even if you're homeless and dying in the gutter. Fuck you.
No, you probably will. No, it's all playful in the end, you know?
For sure.
Honestly,
I love Chris.
Me too.
Knowing Chris Dyer has been probably one of the biggest influences, one of the biggest reasons why I'm an artist and I worked as an artist full-time for 5 years.
Yeah.
Because I saw Chris do it and I said, if he can do it, I can do it.
That's exactly what I said too. We're too much alike. And that's in a sense like, if he could do it, I can do it is a pretty bold statement when you think about it.
It is, but
it's a bold statement. You can do it?
I'm
all right, I can do it too.
Gary V, he's the one who kind of invented the $1.80 strategy, and I'll be honest, I consume his content fairly regularly, mostly memes. I don't watch his long content a lot, but
he's got a good strategy, which is give away free content because that's how he catches the fish. Like he caught you. But he's giving away great content all the time, so why the fuck not?
Now I lost.
He's just a genius.
I forgot.
You got about Gary Vee came up with a $1.80 strategy.
Yeah, but there was something else that he
You're gonna die.
No.
Having competition.
No, I don't remember what it was anyway.
Okay, well, competition is very important.
When I upload this to YouTube and I'm watching this, I'm gonna remember it and I'm like,
on the next episode of Arty Time.
Yeah.
Well, look, the reason why I wanted to bring up Chris's comment is because he had given me such a valuable lesson in life, which is, being an artist and pushing acrylic paint until it solidifies into a piece of art. And because he did that, I will always have a debt.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Okay,
before I forget again, it's if anybody
he wasn't even listening to
if anybody has done the thing you want to do, you can do it too. Just look how they did it.
Yes. Very true.
It's not just Chris it's if anybody has done the thing you want to do,
they trailblazed.
You can probably do it too. Look how they did it,
and it's even easier now that they did it
because
they trailed a path.
Follow.
Yeah, they're trailblazers. They literally made a path.
And there's two ways to do that. You might be like, oh well, this guy he had this at the beginning that I don't have now. It's like, okay, well, did he have that at the beginning, or is that just where you got into his story?
And is that a crutch you're telling yourself to not start?
Exactly.
Don't make yourself a crutch. Now back to what I was saying, which was that I have a debt to pay to Chris, and that's why I will always try and drop him an elbow and try to give him my lessons until he finally listens to them. Which is, you know what? Story is incredibly important and character is incredibly important. And the reason why I would read your comment online is because people love good conflict. And am I going to take a snippet of it and put it on Instagram? Yes, I am, Chris. Am I going to post your name on it and make everyone believe that I'm going to throw you under a bus? Yes, I am, Chris.
You know I've painted some pretty cool masks, right? Because I'm picturing, I don't have any here right now because they're hanging in the yoga studio.
There's one there, no?
Or sold. Oh, yeah, I do have one.
Let me grab it.
Yeah, there you go.
You're grabbing it?
Yeah, I'll grab it. So I'm thinking I should paint up a couple of luchador masks, one for you, one for Chris, and you guys just go at it.
Make people believe there's a good number of people that probably won't listen to podcasts because they live a busy life, But we can make them believe that me and Chris are slanging mud at each other in the podcast, and eventually, you know what they'll do? They'll listen to the podcast thinking there's some mud being slung.
I've said for many years that Eminem and Dr. Dre should pretend they got in a big fight, write 2 diss albums about each other. They'd be the best-selling rap albums ever, and then they have a collabo album right after going, Dude, you're dumb for buying this. Something like that.
You know what the new Eminem album is literally about?
No.
He disses everyone in the rap game.
Even Dre?
Maybe.
You're not telling me he forgot about Dre.
Maybe he did. But no, your idea is that's how his last album is he names everyone that's relevant and you suck, I'm the greatest.
I actually totally forgot he just dropped the new album, which I haven't listened to. I haven't listened to Tool's new album either, so.
But yeah, me neither. But great marketing strategy by Eminem, which is basically making himself relevant because those people might now diss him back, and then young people will be like, "Who's this Eminem guy?" And they'll listen to him. Because they're listening to Lil Yachty and they didn't know who Eminem was. It's genius.
If you're listening
It's
to
genius.
anything with hip hop and you don't know who Eminem is, that's like playing guitar and not knowing who Jimi Hendrix is.
Dude, when that guy Post Malone made a song with Ozzy
That's like
Osbourne.
painting mandalas and not knowing who Adam Millward is. Come on.
When Post Malone made a song with Ozzy Osbourne, people were like, "Oh, man, Post Malone really put this Ozzy guy on the map."
Yeah, I know.
So you know what? I don't know if you've already lost faith in humanity. Sharon, these kids.
That was my favorite part of the whole thing is when you just fucking get overwhelmed with everything and block out the entire world and just go, Sharon!
But dude, he is literally a meme master if you think about it. That show, he became a champion and he was like,
he was so out of it when they were putting that show on TV.
He couldn't even speak. He was on like all kinds of pain meds. It's just like unbelievable.
But hey, man, what a fucking legend Ozzy Osbourne is, eh?
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of Black Sabbath. There's a few songs I dig, but like...
I'm a fan of the storyline.
Legend, exactly.
So
I'm a fan of the storyline.
We'll close on the storyline. Did you know that Ozzy Osbourne had a book? Okay? And the book was some sort of like demonic book that had the lyrics. The lyrics apparently would appear in the book to the songs of the first album. The other members of the band were terrified of this book to the point where it was like they would throw the book out in the garbage, but then when they came back inside, it was in their cubby again. That kind of story where you can't destroy this book. Dude, it's a legit story. You can Google it, YouTube it if you want, and have the members of Black Sabbath tell you about this book that Ozzy had.
That's insane.
That was some sort of black magic book that promised Ozzy that they would be one of the biggest bands in the world.
I didn't know this. I'm kind of surprised I didn't know this.
It's crazy.
I did not know this. I didn't hear
It's in a lot of documentaries on they sold their soul to the devil for rock and roll. Because it's like the Crossroads story where the guy like goes to the crossroads and learns how to play guitar.
I didn't sell my soul to the devil. I lost mine to my friend Sean in a game of blackjack in like 1996.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get it back one day.
But I don't know. I think I'm doing okay just being a soulless fucking
mandala painter who sells
does it just for money. Exactly.
Who's doing it just for money. Send me money and I will paint you fantastical mandalas.
Yeah, but I won't even share them or show them to anyone because I'm doing it just for money.
Oh yeah,
like, not to give anybody
You're
joy
not even
or
posting
anything.
anymore. Oh no, you started posting again.
Yeah, I know. Anyway.
Anyways, that has been Arty Time, episode 25.
25, the quarter century. That means we've done like almost probably 30 hours of Arty Time because a few episodes are over an hour.
Yeah, this one's over an hour.
Awesome. So if you've been watching a lot of them, like, thanks for watching because it's kind of cool to know that there's actually people watching.
Infinite love. And
Nexus.
It's been
Infinite love from the Nexus.
It's been a great storyline in the first 25. Let's look back a little bit in the next 5 minutes on the storyline of Arty Time. There was us starting, and I think we throw Chris under the bus in the first episode, don't we not? Or is he sex crazed?
I think so.
Is Chris Dyer sex crazed? That's how we started.
That might have been the second episode.
No, dude, I'm pretty sure it's episode 1.
The first episode was about me being afraid of being on camera. That's what the whole first episode was about, yeah. Because
I could have sworn it's like the rack is behind us and we're sitting on the couch first episode.
No, there's no rack yet. I didn't own that rack yet.
Okay. Eventually we get to, is Chris Dyer sex crazed?
Yeah, I think that was in episode 2. It wasn't
and we used that as promo.
Early, yeah.
So we put that all over social media asking is Chris Dyer sex crazed, and we got all the clickbait. And then you go through a little bit of problems. You go through a slight problem.
Well, yeah, what problem are you talking about specifically? Yeah.
Well, at one point we start off with like, this is a show about how you can work from your art solely. We're two professional artists, and then one of us
got a job.
No, first you needed a job.
Yeah, I needed a job.
First you needed a job, and then he manifested a job, and then he became manager of said job, and then he didn't want to do
manager,
and then he didn't want to do the podcast anymore.
Yeah,
and then he quit being a manager, and he's doing art again, and he wants to do the podcast again. It's a fantastic story.
Yeah, I suppose.
It's fantastic. And now we're going to watch in the next 25 episodes, you sell fantastical mandalas for money.
Yes, and probably some video game art for money too. And I'm going to document how I spend it all on crack and hookers in Las Vegas betting.
That's crazy.
Because I'm doing it just for money, right?
That'd be awesome.
Just for money.
Episode 36, we're in Vegas, baby.
Crack and hookers. Episode 30. Keep a watch for it.
Just click that bar at the top, subscribe, and post notify.
But we have to do it in Vegas.
Dude, I'm down. If you want, we'll fly. It's so cheap to fly to Vegas, even just to make the joke.
It is. They should have flying casinos. Like any plane that flies to Vegas is free, and they have slot machines on it.
And that's how you pay.
Yeah, that's how you pay your flight. And Elon, Sleep Pod, still waiting on that.
Oh, I thought he actually was gonna do that idea.
No, that's my idea.
Oh no, that's a great idea. He's trying to get you to Mars when we haven't reinvented the bed.
Yeah, we're still sleeping on these flat fucking...
It's something we do every day, no matter what. Yes, it's a great idea.
Anyway.
Maybe that'll be one of our episodes. Yeah. You'll make so much money that you'll invent the sleep pod.
Yes, I'll fucking just call up Boring Company and I'll be like, look, Elon's been ignoring my calls. Who's the CFO or whatever? Who's next in charge? I have a great idea and I need you guys to help me out with it. And, yep. Put me through. Because that's how it works. It's so easy. Just do it like that.
Well, once you tell them that you're Adam from Arty Time, they'll clearly just put you through.
For sure. Yeah.
You have business cards and everything.
I do. I have Arty Time business cards. I do. Actually, if you want some Arty Time business cards, if you have like friends who are artists that aren't watching this podcast yet, just leave a comment either here or on my social media somewhere. Say, send me some Arty Time business cards, and for just $19.99 with shipping and handling, I will mail you some Arty Time.
Oh my God, he's just in it for the money.
Just in it for the money. No, I'll send you free business cards, but just make sure you send me your address.
And make sure you hand them out, guys. I really appreciate you.
Yep.
Unless your name is Christopher Teddy Dyer, then I love you, bro. See you soon.
Peace.